What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Edel Garcia and I am a real estate agent here in Queens, New York. And today I'm going to share with you 4 books that have changed my life. I am not a reader by any means. These are easy reads. You're going to get a ton of information. Let's dive in. All right, so these are in no particular order, but number 1 is Benjamin Graham, The Intelligent Investor. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Benjamin Graham, but he is a master investor, and Warren Buffett was actually one of his disciples. And Warren Buffett is like number 4 or number 3 richest man in the world. He is a super investor. When you think of an investor, you think of Warren Buffett. All right, so my 3 takeaways out of The Intelligent Investor would be: you don't need a high IQ, you don't need luck, and you don't need insider trade. What you do need to be able to do is you need to be able to make sound decisions combined with control of your emotions, because emotions can ruin your trade. The book also goes into exploring a bunch of metaphors, how Mr. Market, which is the market, has ups and downs, and how you can invest and work with Mr. Market. Really fun, and I actually learned a lot from The Intelligent Investor. Before this, I actually read The Intelligent Investor back in 2017. Yeah, so like 3 years ago, and I didn't invest anything in the stock market, but when I read that book, I started investing in cryptocurrencies. I sold all my cryptocurrency positions, but I invested a bunch of money in my stock portfolio, which is growing heavily, and I'm honestly not the best investor, but I do invest in companies that I like, and that book has taught me a lot of that. You don't need to be the smartest guy. You really just need to be able to pick good companies that you think are going to last for 20 years and just put money into it and forget about the money. The book also dives into a bunch of formulas that you can use to figure out how you can be a defensive investor or a more aggressive investor. I am a long-term investor, so like I said, I buy stocks and bonds that are going to for the long run, basically more than three years. So yeah, this book is amazing, and I highly recommend it to everyone who's interested in learning how to start investing. And I know these days there's been a lot of rave on the stock market, so if you want to know a little bit more and get more educated in it, read The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. It is amazing. The second book is The One Thing by Gary Keller. Gary Keller is the co-founder of Keller Williams Realty. I am actually part of Keller Williams Realty, but this is not why this is one of my books. This book is literally amazing. It teaches you how to just focus on one thing. It goes into explaining the Pareto theory, which is 20% of the actions does 80% of the results. Extraordinary results are proportionally created by fewer actions than most realize. It goes on to explaining that all things don't matter equally. You need to find the things that matter most. Multitasking is not real. It's not a thing. You shouldn't multitask. You should focus on one thing and then take care of that and then go to the next thing. It also goes into a theory of the domino effect, meaning the successful people know this. They wake up in the morning, they line up their priorities, they look at what's the leading priority, they take care of that, they whack it down, and then everything else falls into place. I personally love this book because I am all over the place, and this book has taught me to just focus on one thing, take care of that, and then take care of the rest. The One Thing by Gary Keller is also asks you the focusing question, which is, what is the one thing I can do right now, such as by doing it makes everything else easier and unnecessary? You ask yourself that question every day, and you figure out what's the priority, and you take care of that priority, and then you go to the next thing. That's how you get things done. The Pareto theory, which is the 20-80, it's super effective. People mastered it, and people do it every day. So I advise you to read this book, get what you get out of it, make your notes, but it is an amazing book, changed my life, love it. All right, so this is the 3rd book, and it's also by Gary Keller, and this is a real estate related book, but I am a real estate agent, so I'm gonna share it with you. It is The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. This book is just mind-blowing. Like, Gary Keller goes deep into figuring out how you become a millionaire real estate agent. He asks you a lot of fundamental questions. He asks you, what is your big why? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to be an agent? Why do you want to make money? It also goes into the 3 L's, which is lead generating, leverage, and listings. Listings is where the money is at as a real estate agent. It is proven. Listings make a lot more money than being a buyer's agent. And then it dives into how you lead generate, what sources you can use, how the listings, how you get the listings, and then leverage. Leverage basically just means get somebody else to do the things that you're not really good at. So if it's cold calling, which is being on the phone, or if it's going out or doing administrative work, get somebody else that's better than you, that's qualified, that can do that job. Leverage them, and then they'll help you in the process. And then it also goes into 4 stages of growth. Think $1 million, earn $1 million, net $1 million, and then receive $1 million. I'm not going to dive too much into them, but think $1 million is basically just envision yourself making that $1 million. Earn $1 million is gross $1 million, meaning you're not really going to keep that $1 million. Net $1 million is when you actually net the $1 million, and then receive $1 million is when you leverage everything, and then you're actually just receiving that $1 million. You're just leaning back, collecting. So yeah, that book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, is super awesome. I highly recommend it. For all the real estate agents out there, you have to read Gary Keller's book. Doesn't matter if you're in Keller Williams or not, but it teaches you fundamental models that are going to benefit you so much more in the future. And by all means, I still don't understand the entire book completely. I have to read it again and again, and I make my notes, but every time I read it, I always get something else from it, and it helps. It really does help. Like I said, I'm not a reader by any means, and I'm quite slow learner, unfortunately, but that doesn't stop me from being successful and doing what I know I have to do to take care of me and my future and my big why. So yeah, Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller, amazing. Highly recommend it. Changed my life. And this is the 4th book, and if I were to put these in categories, this is my favorite book of all. This is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Karasaki. This man is a freaking genius. He literally breaks everything down. The reviews on this book has been amazing. What I would say is he talks about having a rich dad and a poor dad, how his poor dad was an educated man who went to college but was always broke, paying bills, just trying paycheck by paycheck, trying to survive. And then his rich dad was actually a friend of his dad, taught him a lot about finances and educated him about life. And when he was working for him, he never paid him. He was just teaching him lessons. That's how he was paying him, by teaching him lessons. And this book literally gives you so much information. They say that rich people buy assets and poor people buy liabilities. That's messed up, but it's so true. And the asset is determined by if it makes you money. So a house is not an asset unless it's an investment and you're renting it and it's producing money. It's so good. Cars are horrible. They're not assets at all. Cars are liabilities. It goes into talking about corporations and how you pay less taxes in corporation. This is another reason why I opened up a corporation. I have a Corp C. I'm converting it to a Corp S. There's also LLCs you can open, but corporations pay less in taxes. It's like mind-blowing. This book is literally mind-blowing. It talks about how the rich get richer, the middle class struggles, and then the poor are just poor. Poor is a state of mind. I never call myself poor. I always say I'm broke. That also I got from this book. But I'm not broke. I just like to say I'm broke so that my friends don't borrow money. It also has taught me not to focus on income, focus on assets. Focus on things that are gonna make you money. That's why whenever I have a little spare cha-ching, I always put it in my stock portfolio. I never really keep money in my pocket. Basically, I don't put it in my savings and I don't put it in my bank account. I always put it in my stock portfolio or in some other little investment that I have going, or put it back in my business so I can make more money. And then it goes into a lot of information, how the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the middle class struggles in debt, and how it all started with the whole tax thing, but the rich are too smart and they turned everything around on the middle class and the poor class through corporations, and then how we're not taught money, which is financial education is huge. This is how the rich get richer, because they are taught how to make money. And unfortunately, we don't have those type of classes in school. The only people that teach us how to make money is our parents. And if our parents aren't already rich, then what type of information do you think they're feeding us? So you have to look elsewhere. You have to look for people who made it, or people who are doing other things that you're not doing, or that you're not used to, making more money and stuff like that. So yeah, it really has just like opened up my mind to a lot of things financially, and the way I treat money and the way I see money has changed. This book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Karasaki, amazing. I highly recommend it. So yeah guys, if you have any books that have changed your life, leave it in the comments below. I always read through my comments, and I want to know the books that have changed your life. Maybe it's gonna change mine, who knows. Stay learning based. I love you guys. Stay safe. Bye bye.